Hi friends, how are you? I am so excited to see you. It has been quite the week. I have so many things to share with you today. It's going to be fantastic. So I'm going to just jump right into it. I have been trying really hard to use my cotton yarn, which is what I have out. I actually got one of the containers of my acrylic yarn so far. But I haven't gone through it at all. It's like, it's too much. And then I have some things to share with you at the end that is just making this whole deal so difficult. I can't even tell you. But I went on to good old Google, right? And I was like, what can I make with my cotton yarn? Because I tend to make all the same things, right? All the bags, the hats. I did get a couple of suggestions, and so I have those that I've started, but I haven't completed yet. One suggestion was the bowl cozies, and so I have looked up patterns for that. That's one of the things that I've started, so that should probably be next week. But I know you guys are going to be absolutely shocked. But I made a bag, and the thing was that I had this cone of this yarn, which I thought was like called Harvest, but I think it's really called Fall Leaves or something like that. It's kind of the same. But this is actually a pattern from Yarnspirations because it uses, in their pattern, it uses Red Heart yarn. But I did not. I used the Lily Sugar and Cream, and I liked that their pattern had a color blocking. I really wanted to use this. I really wanted to like start working on some fall things, and so mine is slightly different. I know, what a shock, right? But the whole thing is linen stitch, and so since I did the linen stitch and it's like so much smaller, and there's a lot of slip stitching involved in the top. What am I saying? I don't even know. This made so much more sense to me when I was doing it, and then I actually had it all set to tell you, and now I don't know. But my straps I slip stitched, and so it makes it really tight, and so even though they're thin, they're still really tight. Oh, this is why, because on the pattern it has you slip stitch 2 rows, and I was like, well, if I'm going to slip stitch the top, I think I would like to slip stitch the straps. I am so sorry. And you know what, I even wrote things down for today to make sure I didn't forget anything, and I still like lost my brain. So as usual, I changed things up a little bit. They did use leather straps on theirs, which I was going to do, but then I decided that I really kind of liked this idea. I do feel like I probably would have liked it a little bit better if the straps had been a little thicker. But considering they're like actually made into the bag itself, and they're all slip stitched, so you can see it's super tightly wove, and so the strap will still be really strong. So here is my first thing. I'm starting to get into the little fall way, and yeah, I know, another bag. I'm sorry. I'm doing better though. Like I did branch out this time. And so the next thing that I was working on, I made some placemats, and I did 2 different colorways. The first I was doing, I really liked this light blue color, and to be honest, I don't even know what it is because it was just kind of wadded into my container. Not wadded, but it didn't have a label on it. And I think that it is actually the Joann's brand that is supposedly going to Michael's now. but the cotton, right? But I actually really like this. And this is sarahmaker.com. As usual, I will link everything down below, but this is like 27 plus placemat patterns. And I really liked this one. It was kind of simple. There are some that has like baubles on it and like different striping and things like this, but I really wanted something a little more simple, so I chose this diamond. And so I did 2 in this, and then I did 2 in this colorway. And this is a lily sugar and cream, but again, I apologize, I don't know what colors, so I don't know. Now, I got to the very end of my second one, and like literally the very end, I think I was like to the second to the last row of the single crochets, and I ran out. And at first I was like, oh, that's okay, I'll just go grab another skein, because you know they're like $1.97 or $2.97 or whatever, depending on where you get it or what the actual color is. Usually at like Walmart I can get the little ones for $1.97. And then in my mind I'm like, no, the whole point of this is me trying to use all of my yarn and not buy things. And so I did like just finish up the end in 2 different colors, and you really can't tell, and it was fine. And so I gotta start thinking more along those lines. So but I have to tell you, before I just decided to do 2, I do have a bag of scraps. Now all these scraps did actually fit into here, and then I was like, maybe I have a little piece of that. And so of course then I had to dump it all out. And so since I dumped it all out, I organized it by like color. And so since I did that, now it's like, it's not fitting in here. But something came at the absolute best time. My daughter sent me a TikTok, and if you have TikTok, or actually I think a lot of times you can still see some of the videos. I will link the video that she sent to me specifically, and it was somebody stating that national parks have free crochet patterns. Did you know this? I did not know this. So yes, national parks have crochet patterns. I believe they're all free. I could be wrong. The couple that I went to check out were free. And she was like, Mom, I want the cactus or the goat. So in this clip, it shows like a halibut, some fish, a couple of other animals, I believe, and then like this saguaro cactus and a goat. And right then, as I have my stuff spilled all over my bed, I had all these balls of green yarn that I had used years ago in a weather blanket. And so it's acrylic. It's not like super soft. I mean, it's like I think it was the 1 pound. So it's not like a super soft acrylic. And I was like, oh my gosh, this would be perfect. And so I made this cactus. And then after I made it, I decided it needed a flower. And so I like Googled an actual cactus, a Saguaro cactus, and followed the color scheme. And then afterwards, my daughter was like, oh, it needs a pink flower, but too bad, it gets a white one. But again, this is what I love about patterns. This is so simple. It worked up so fast. Like, she sent it and I had it done pretty closely like that same afternoon. But I did do some tweaking on the arms, because the way that they did their cactus arms were a little, I don't know, not cactusy looking to me. And so I just kind of worked it the way that I wanted and made them the size and shape that I wanted. And so that's the great thing about these, right? You can like customize it to however you want, but I will link this specific pattern. This was like the best stash buster too, because I mean, it's a cactus. So I had to piece together these different balls of yarn, and it doesn't even matter. Like you can't even see anywhere that there's like, that it wasn't just one giant skein. And oh my gosh, it is so, it's so cute. And I just did not know this. I did not know this. And the way that I found this particular one was I Googled National Park crochet pattern cactus or something along those lines, and this popped up right away. So like I said, I will link everything that I found. I'll link her TikTok. I'm sorry, I don't know what that noise is. I'll link her TikTok, I'll link this specific site, and then I'll even like put down but I really did just Google National Park crochet patterns. So there's my next one after my placemats. And then I have no carpet in my house anymore. It's all hardwood floors, and I'm not used to that. Like I'm used to putting some rugs by the door so that the carpet doesn't get dirty. And so now I said, oh, I need some rugs. But then I remembered that I had told Maddie that I would get her a rug for her bedroom because they have a dog and they like to play outside. And then when she would go to get into bed, you know, she would get dirt in her bed, and she didn't like that. And so I found a site, and it's Cab Crochet, CAAB Crochet, I believe, and it's like 11, I believe it's 11 crochet patterns for rugs and different ones. And I chose the bubblegum one for theirs, and I did it opposite. So instead of doing the stripes this way, so it started with the short side. I feel like I'm yelling, sorry. Started with the short side. I wanted it long because I wanted the colors that Mateo would like on Mateo's side, and then going up to the side that Maddie's bed is on. Mateo is big time into everything cars, monster trucks, like literal cars, like Ford, Chevy cars, but then also cars, the Disney cars, which is why we took him to Disney when he was here, and he loves Lightning McQueen. And so I was like, I could do a gradient because Lightning McQueen is red and orange and yellow and white, and then I can work up to a pink for Maddie on her side. So that's what I did. And now I'll tell you, this particular pattern, I love the result. I love the way it feels. I love the way it looks. I like the sturdiness of it. But this uses 2 strands of the cotton yarn, and it still uses a size 5 hook. So it is tough on the hands, but it's one of those like repeat patterns that you can kind of put down and come back to. But I admit, like, my hands were getting a little bit sore, but I really like it. And it's funny because I originally looked at rug patterns because I wanted to make one for next to my bed, and then of course I did theirs first. This is the one, like I said, I believe I said it's called Bubblegum, is this pattern. I will link the site that had all 11 of the patterns, and so you can choose. But there is one that uses scrap yarn, like it says that it's scrap yarn. I think that's the one that I'm probably gonna do for myself, and then I can just do random colors, and you know, I'll use up more of my yarn. Now, speaking of using my yarn and not buying, this is like so typical of my life. I don't know if you've heard or seen, but there have been a few collabs between creators and yarn companies, and I'm only going to talk about two. There's a couple more that I would like to purchase, but when I finally get through some of my stash, these will be the first ones that I'm buying. But I want to tell you about two of them. One is from Bag O' Day Crochet, and she has joined with Mary Maxim. And it's so funny because I was like, oh, I wish that I could get these to show everybody. And then the next day I got a brochure in the mail, and here it is. This is her yarn line. And it's Tonal Hues, and they're all named after Freddie Mercury from Queen, because she loves him, which I think is so cool. But this is a premium acrylic, and it's only $6.99. Now, I know she's pretty straightforward and honest about the way that yarns feel. And she'll tell you she'll say scarfable, which means if it's a wearable. And then she'll let you know, this is better for maybe a blanket, or this is better for, whatever. But she chose this premium acrylic, and for it to only be $6.99 a cake, I can't wait to be able to get some of these. But like I said, she has 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Yep, she has 13 different colorways, and I will link this specifically from Mary Maxim, and you can go. And right now, Mary Maxim is also doing a free yarn tote that is it's with any $30 purchase, and you use the coupon code STORAGE30 at checkout. And if I remember, I will make sure that I put that as well. But yeah, I can't wait to try these. Now, the other one that I wanted to tell you about is Sarah Jane it's Bella Coco yarn, and she is doing a line with Hobie. Now, her line doesn't come out until the end of July, the 31st, I believe, and it's a merino blend, but the colorways on these are just phenomenal. And from what I've heard, that people who have gotten yarn early is that it's just so soft. And the really nice thing about all of the colorways is that they literally will all work together. So another one, I think there's a sign up list, whatever it is, I will find and make sure that I have linked below for you. But just a couple of the collabs that are going on with some of the creators of the yarn companies. Hobie, Mary Maxim are great. So yeah, and I am just gonna keep trying to find more things to do with cotton and scraps. Now I'm almost super excited to have my big bag of scraps, and we'll see what I can come up with for those. But yeah, I'll have that all for you next time again. And as always, please leave any suggestions, recommendations, comments, ideas. Even if there's something you think that I could improve on, let me know about that. And I'm always willing to try something new, would love to try something new. And I hope you guys are all doing absolutely amazing, and I will see you all next time. Bye.